The sun was dipping behind the distant hills, casting a warm orange glow across a quiet railway station. On a worn-out bench sat a young girl clutching a small backpack, carrying a heavy weight in her heart. She looked lost, tired of trying and failing, while an elderly woman selling snacks nearby noticed her and walked over. "You seem like you've been through a tough day, dear. Would you like some tea?" the woman asked gently. The girl nodded silently as the woman poured a cup and sat beside her to listen. "What's on your mind, child?" the woman asked, and the girl sighed deeply. "I've failed at everything I've tried. My art exhibition was a flop, and I didn't get into the school I wanted. Everyone around me whispers I'm just not good enough. Maybe I'm just not meant to succeed," she confessed. The old woman smiled kindly and said, "Let me share a story that might change how you see failure. Long ago, in a small village, there was a boy who dreamed of becoming a scientist and helping his people. Life wasn't easy for him, and he failed his science exams many times, while his friends moved on with their lives. People told him to give up, saying he wasn't meant for success, but he didn't listen to them. He changed his study habits, stopped comparing himself to others, and learned from every mistake instead of crying over them. He studied what went wrong, noticed where he lost focus, and identified distractions to improve himself. Every failure became a lesson, and on his fifth try, he passed the exams, barely but successfully. In college, he struggled again but kept going, learning that failure is not falling down but staying down. He asked questions, found mentors, and began working on small projects to gain experience. One project, a simple water purifier for his village, won a local award and encouraged him further. Years later, he became a respected inventor creating affordable solutions for rural communities. At a seminar, a student asked him, "Did you always believe you'd succeed?" And he smiled warmly. "No, I only knew I wouldn't stop trying, and that made all the difference," he replied honestly. The old woman finished her story and looked at the girl, saying, "Success comes from standing up after every fall." The girl looked at the train tracks and then asked, "What happened to him after all this?" The woman smiled and said, "He is now building schools and inspiring young minds like yours to keep going." The girl stood up feeling lighter, saying, "Thank you, Auntie. I think I still have one more fight left in me." The woman handed her another cup of tea and said, "Good, because those who succeed aren't always the smartest or luckiest. They're the ones who keep going no matter what life throws at them," she added kindly. As the train whistle echoed nearby, the girl walked away, no longer defeated but ready to begin again. So, the next time you fail, remember to pause, learn, and rise, because failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path that leads you to success if you keep moving forward. The story teaches us that failure is not the end but a part of the journey to success. It shows that even when everything feels lost, there is still hope if we don't give up. Each failure brings a lesson that helps us grow stronger and wiser. The people who succeed are not always the smartest or the luckiest, they are the ones who keep trying. Instead of comparing ourselves to others, we should focus on our own path. Mistakes help us understand what to improve. Falling down doesn't mean you've failed, staying down does. The story reminds us to rise every time we fall. With patience, learning, and effort, success will come. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the path that leads to it.